You left this pretty traditional marriage.
Yeah.
You were living in Dallas at the time.
Yeah.
And what I loved about you was you were so badass, asset management company, Latina, just full force. How was it, and you still kind of are, so I have a two-part question. How was it leaving this traditional, fully traditional, conventional marriage? In white picket fence, you had a home, you had all the things.
Yeah, I think we actually had a white picket fence. I think we did. 2 cars, country club membership, the whole 9.
Shout out Dallas.
Yeah, I was very Dallas. I was actually with one of my friends just earlier today talking about that time. And, I think it was incredibly difficult. I mean, my mom, it was harder. I think the divorce was harder for my mom than it was for me.
It's harder for the parents.
You
crushed their dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they also don't have to live in your existence. So she had no idea what I was going through, and, it was different than your marriage. But there was some part of it that was emotionally abusive, at least in my eyes, that was pretty toxic, right?
Yeah.
And so that was a huge burden off my shoulders. But I would say the ramp up to it was the hardest part. It was so hard to get there. And even though I could be such a quote unquote badass and all this other stuff, being in the marriage was part of my identity, and I didn't know how to let go of it. And I felt like I was failing, and there was massive shame and guilt around it. And for a while, my goals were just get divorced, just move through that, and then we'll figure out all the rest. So it was really, really difficult. And then I lost all my friends, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were our friends.
Country club friends. Everybody else, kind of chose the husbands, which I totally get. And so they went together. I was with a few friends that I still have to this day. And then it was, not only did I get divorced from this guy, but we worked together at the same firm. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And so for a while, I had to see him all the time. And so that was terrible. So I obviously had to leave not only my marriage, but my identity. And I think that's common.
Yeah.
I think it's same with you, right?
Oh, yeah. I had to leave everybody that I knew, everybody that... It was a different world for me. I mean, it was the same kind of, you kind of just... We had similar paths. It was the country club in the city, the first class travel, all of those things. And you're just kind of going on this path to rediscover who you are.
Yeah.
And you realize oh yeah, bottle service on the weekends. I don't really want to do that anymore. I want to go deep.
Exactly.
And I mean, because I couldn't find people at that level, I had to start what you would call today a mastermind.
Exactly.
And I started that to get more friends who would be on my terms,
Totally.
And I feel like I saw that similar thing kind of starting to happen with you. I'm oh yeah, I know where she's going.
It was the exact same thing. Well, and also then my career didn't fit me.
Yep.
So my identity was wrong with my partner, with my career, with my friends, with my geography.
How wild.
And it's scary to change all those things at once. But I think what it leads to is, gosh, if we can get more people earlier to ask themselves, who are you? Who do you want to be? Why are you here? What's important to you? Then we can skip, 10 years of you trying to let somebody else be the architect of your life. And instead you can take the reins.
So true. And being the controller, you kind of get in that driver's seat.
Right.